Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest YouTube Live. My name is David Hittle. I am a realtor with United Real Estate Louisville, and I am super excited, as always, to be here once again, sharing knowledge with you. Those who may be looking to buy or sell a home, maybe you're renting right now, and hopefully preparing to get out of that rental situation. Um, Maybe you're young, maybe you're still living at home. Understand, I was there. Maybe you're looking for your own place finally. Whatever your particular situation is, this channel is for you. I am dedicating this channel to providing you with as much knowledge and education about home ownership, about buying and selling a home, showing you beautiful homes that I have had the opportunity to go into. Also, that you are better equipped on that day when you say, I'm going to go buy a home. Because for me, it was just a light bulb moment. I said, I want to move out of my parents' house. I'm tired of being here. I'm going to go buy my own house. I figured out how much I could afford. And I said, okay, let's go do this. And the first house that I actually looked at is the house that I purchased. So it can work for you. If it worked for me, it can definitely work for you. Let's just put it that way. So before we get started today, we actually started like right on time. I was furiously doing other things and looked at the clock and said, okay, got to get in here. If you like this channel, if you think this channel is interesting, if you will glean knowledge from this, please subscribe to the channel. You can do that. Little lower right-hand corner of the thing should be a subscribe button. Just click on that, click subscribe, you're done. Easy peasy. If you like this particular Facebook, if you like this particular YouTube Live, give me a thumbs up. There's a like button there. You can click like. I love it. Don't click the dislike because I've never gotten any of those and I don't want any. So just give me a thumbs up if I'm doing good. And I will continue to do my very best. If you need to get a hold of me, if you have a question, about anything, about your market, about your home value, about real estate in general, all of my information is in the description of this video. And scroll all the way down through all the stuff that I offer you, all sorts of offers, all sorts of playlists there that I offer you, so that you can stay in a particular playlist instead of having to jump around. But you can contact me. All my contact information is in the description of the channel. So today, we are going to discuss the path to home ownership and these 10 simple steps on the path to home ownership. But first, I want to talk about this whole knowledge is power thing on the path to home ownership. So today, according to Fannie Mae, which is a big name, everybody knows Fannie Mae, there are over 75 million millennials, so younger people, and 67 million Gen Zers, which are also younger people, in the U.S., making up a significant number of both current and soon-to-be home buyers. So not only do we have the market flooded with individuals who are fleeing bigger cities, such as New York, Los Angeles, people are fleeing those areas because of a lot to do with this pandemic. People no longer want to be clustered together or so closely knit, but also due to what the pandemic has done to our daily lives. The home has become something that it wasn't before, that it hasn't been for a long time. Before this pandemic, it was a place where you slept, you woke up, you drove to work, You came back home, you maybe had dinner, and then you went to bed. And you did that as a rotational cycle every single day. That's our lives. For most of us, that is our lives. But today, the home has become more. It's become your job. You may have to have a dedicated office so that you can make calls with clients. You may have to have a dedicated space for a classroom for your children, maybe. You may have to have, you definitely, if you're going to the gym, maybe you need a dedicated area for your gym equipment now because people can't get out to the gym or don't want to go to a gym right now because of what is going on in the country due to this pandemic. So you have a lot of people right now trying to move. And if you are in one of these areas where your home doesn't exactly sit right on top of a home next to you, then you are probably seeing an influx of people looking to purchase homes in that area. And it's understandable. That is what is going on in today's market. 88%, according to the same Fannie Mae survey, said 88% said that they are confident that they will achieve home ownership someday. That's a scary term. Someday they will achieve home ownership. It means that it is not top of mind with them right now. And that's kind of depressing, kind of sad that the younger folks right now are not considering home ownership to be that big of deal to them right now. In addition, the survey revealed that less than 50% say they want to use their home as an asset, and whether they like it or not, their home will more than likely be their most expensive asset and will be the thing that increases their net worth. It's not something that they can really control. But less than 50% said they want to use their home as an asset. 78% believe it's the best way to live the way they want without restrictions. Now that sounds like the kids that are living in their parents' basement. I want to live the way I want without your rules. That's similar to my story. It's similar to everybody's story. When they're young, they're wanting to get out of the house. I don't want to have to follow your rules anymore. I'm 18. I'm 21. I shouldn't have to I shouldn't have to have a midnight curfew. Whatever it is, 78% of the young people believe it's the best way to live the way they want without restrictions. And finally, 80% believe home ownership is the best way to make it on their own. And that's true. You get out on your own, you experience life, you find out it's not this giant fluffy cloud where everybody loves you. It is somewhat of a dog eat dog kind of world out there. And for the younger folks that may have not experienced that dog eat dog kind of world, or they get their first pay stub and it says FICA, and they're wondering who FICA is and why they're taking so much of their money, they finally grow up. They learn what life is all about. Living, breathing, and paying taxes for the most part. 73% of future home buyers are unaware of low down payment mortgage options. Let me tell you something about that. Again, this is an educational channel. So this is what I do. 73% of future home buyers are unaware of low down payment mortgage options. Okay. So let me help with this, okay? Your FHA mortgage comes with a 3.5% down payment. That is the minimum down payment that you can make, 3.5%. On $100,000, 3.5% is $3,500. That is the minimum amount that you have to have as a down payment on an FHA mortgage at $100,000. If it's $200,000, then you take that and calculate it yourself, 300, so on. Conventional loan, if you qualify for a conventional loan, their minimum is 3%. So again, on a $100,000 mortgage, you're talking $3,000. It is not 20%. It is not 25%. Those two are the most common loans that you get, an FHA or a conventional. One is 3.5%, one is 3%. Now, if you served our country, and if you served our country in the military and you earned your veterans benefits, there's a process of whether or not you earned them or not. And if you were in the military, I'm sure they let you know about that, whether you earned them, whether you were in long enough to be able to earn them. But if you did earn them, VA loans have as low as 0% down payment. So with a VA loan, the veterans can purchase a home with a 0% down payment. Now, they do have what is called a funding fee, which is usually around 1 to 1.5%. But unlike the FHA and the conventional, that 1 or 1.5% can be rolled into their mortgage. And if they had any sort of combat-related injury that is in their jacket or in their file, then they may be able to not have to pay even that VA funding fee. So they would actually have a pure 0% down payment. They also get better interest rates. I say they earn them. Our veterans earn them, and they earned everything that we give them. And finally, there's a USDA loan, which is for rural housing. If the home and you qualify, those are also 0% down payment mortgages. So there are more mortgages out there than one that costs you 20%. On a $100,000 house, 20% is $20,000. I do not have $20,000 sitting in my bank account. I don't have that. And I bought this home. I bought this home using down payment assistance from Kentucky, from the Kentucky Housing Corporation. And if you're looking to buy a home, your lender will be able to help you figure out whether you qualify for the down payment assistance loan. And because I had enough for the closing costs. Closing costs are a different animal. They can rack up, and it's usually based on the price of your home. So I bought about 5 years ago a cheaper home, and so my closing costs were not as high as somebody buying $100,000 or $200,000 or $300,000 or $400,000 home. Today, there are more than 2,340 down payment assistance programs, what I was talking about earlier, available nationwide to relieve this pressure. Another from the survey, 64% of buyers expect lenders and other real estate professionals to educate them about the mortgage process. Well, okay, I will do my very best. I will do my very best for anybody who wants to use me as their realtor. I will educate you as best I can about the mortgage process. Your lender can educate you a lot more about the mortgage process because they do the mortgage process every single day. That's what they do for a living. The realtor finds you the home you really like, and then get your paperwork started and get your paperwork going, and then they get to a lender. We'll go over those steps here soon. But your lender, if you ask them, will tell you about the mortgage process. And if they don't, they may not be the best lender to use. If they don't know the process, or they can't educate you or teach you about the process, you might want to look for a different lender. The bottom line in all of this is that if you are aiming for home ownership someday, it may be closer It may be in closer reach than you think. And if it is in closer reach than you think, if you learn something big today and you are revved and ready to go, like David said, there's a 3%, a 3.5% loan. I can afford that. I'm good to go. Let's do this. Contact me, whether you live in Kentucky or whether you live in Louisville, wherever you live. You could be living in Germany. I can find you a realtor who will take good care of you, who knows what they're doing, and will help you the whole way. That is what we are here for, to educate, to teach, and to be there for the client when they need us. So, the path to homeownership. 10 simple steps. They're simple. They're really simple. Here you go. Number 1, save for your down payment. What did I just say? 3%, 3.5%. If you want to put down more, you are free to do so. It's just not required. VA can be 0 or 1 to 1.5, and it can be rolled into your loan. Or USDA, if you're looking at rural housing, then there's 0 on that if you qualify and if the home qualifies. Create a budget, do your research, and there are lots of down payment assistance options available to you. And if you need any help with that, reach out. I'm here. Number 2, know your credit score. Now, I have never done this, but I'm just going to throw it out there because I personally have the app. I use Credit Sesame. And now, before you go and download Credit Sesame, it may not be for everybody. Credit Sesame will try to offer you credit cards. I'm not telling you to listen to Credit Sesame 100% of the time. Don't do that, okay? Do not listen to Credit Sesame 100% of the time. What I use Credit Sesame for is to know what my credit score is, because they update for free on a monthly basis, to know what my credit score is, and to see what debt the credit card industries, the 3 credit bureaus, are tracking. That is it. I don't look at their credit card offers. I don't want their credit card offers. I don't agree with them that I need to increase my credit limit. I'm fine with the credit limit I have. I use them for my credit score and knowing what debt the credit bureaus are tracking that I own, period. Number 3 is find a real estate agent. I'm right here. I am right here. If you can trust me, if you have been educated by me through these videos, through things that I post, if you trust me with your home purchase or with your sale of your home, and I don't know why you wouldn't trust me, but if you trust me, if you find me to be trustworthy, it's got to be a cohesive relationship, then reach out to me. Again, whether you're here in Kentucky, whether you're here in Louisville, I can reach the entire world. Trust me on that. United is a big company, a very big company, and they are all over the world, and their partners are all over the world. So if you need a realtor anywhere, you can reach out to me. I would greatly appreciate that. I would appreciate your trust in me that you would do that. Number 4 is get pre-approved. Now, this is the point where, in the realtor's life anyway, where things start to get heated up. I give you the name of a lender or a couple lenders, depending on your situation. You contact them. They take a bunch of your personal financial information. It's very personal. And they have you send a lot of information as well. And they come back and tell you what they are willing to loan you on a home. That piece of paper, it can be 1 page, can then be sent to your realtor, and your realtor now knows your maximum number. So Going back about 5 years for me, I went to my lender. My lender said, David, you can afford, or we are willing to give you, not what you can afford, because I'll tell you that in a minute. We are willing to give you up to $75,000 based on your income, based on your job history, based on all that. We will give you up to $75,000 for your home. Well, $75,000 for me was a little too high on that mortgage payment. A little too high for me. I didn't like that. So I said, I'm going to stick below that amount in a place where I feel most comfortable. Do not max out your pre-approval if you can help it. If you can afford to do that, fine and dandy. But I never felt as though I could personally take on a $75,000 mortgage payment, which the monthly payment on 75 was way different than what I purchased the home for. And that is what I was going for. Number 5 in the process, not 10, but number 5 in the process, find a home. Once you're pre-approved, we know what you can afford or what you are willing to pay. Again, let your realtor know that I don't want that $75,000 house. I want to keep it under. I want to be at this level. Okay. And then find that home. Find the home that you are looking for. Find the home that best fits your needs. A dream home is not necessarily a ginormous mansion. A dream home is a home that fits your needs today. Whatever your family needs are, maybe you just need a home with an office, with a dedicated office space. That could be your dream home. If we find you one with an office, that's my dream home. I don't care what the kitchen looks like. I don't care that the kitchen's purple. I'm not going to be in the kitchen. I'm going to be in the office working because that's all I do. Okay. If that is your dream home, that is your dream home. You need an office. If you really don't like that kitchen, we'll probably find you another house that has an office too. But if that's the house you want, then that is your dream home. Number 6 is make an offer. And because number 6 is make an offer, I wanted to pull out another article here that I found and expand on all this. So I have you, knowledge is power on the path to home ownership. This is a great show today. You guys are lucky that you are here and that you are watching later on. Knowledge is power on the path to home ownership. Your 10 simple steps to home ownership, and then now 5 tips for home buyers who want to make a competitive offer. So number 6 on the steps is make an offer. And that's a biggie. That's a biggie. And things for realtors, again, start to heat up. It means there's progress. Anytime there's progress down the steps or down the chutes and ladders, it heats up for the realtor. The realtor is like, okay, we're moving forward. We're moving on. We're moving to the next level. But 5 tips for home buyers who want to make a competitive offer. Number 1, I love this. Listen to your real estate agent. Now, what happens in today's housing market? Because home buyers are out there in droves. There are way more buyers than there are sellers. And home buyers find a house they want, they fall in love with it, and they're like, I will pay anything for this house. That's bad. Listen to your real estate agent. Your real estate agent, more than likely, can quickly, on his phone, on his tablet, pull up what the home value is. Like that. They pull it up, they say, well, they want $250,000 for this house. But my calculation says that it's probably only worth about $235,000. It doesn't matter, David. I want the house. I will spend whatever it takes. That's where buyers' emotions cloud their better judgment. And if you're working with just a real estate agent rather than a realtor, then the real estate agent might say, okay, you want to spend $250,000 on a $235,000 house? Fine and dandy, let's do that. A realtor is bound by a code of ethics that forbids them from being able to do that, or from saying that, or of thinking that. You can't really control thought, but the realtor is there to educate. They're not there to sell you. They're there to get you into a place that puts you in a better place. You spending $250,000 on a house that's worth $235,000 is not good for you, but it is good for that real estate agent because he made more money or she made more money. That's why if you're going to purchase a home or if you're going to sell a home, make sure your real estate agent is a realtor. Make sure they are a realtor, because if they're not, they may not have necessarily your best interest at heart. Not all of them, but some of them. You have to be careful. So, number one, listen to your real estate agent. Number two, understand your finances. And your lender probably knows or may know your finances better than you do. So you can ask your lender what they think, because they don't work for the real estate agent. They work for you. And you can privately ask them what they think, where the monthly payment will be at X amount of money. You can ask them those questions that may not bring you into that type of financial relationship with your realtor. Your realtor necessarily is not supposed to know or is not supposed to dictate or look at your financial situation. That is something between you and the lender who is knowledgeable in that area. 3, be ready to move quickly. So if you're renting, make sure you're in a month-to-month lease to where at a moment's notice, if this home closes, you have whatever amount of time you need to get to the new house. On average, today, the average property being sold is receiving more than 3 offers and is only on the market for a few weeks. So the faster that you are willing to let this seller out of this house so that they can go buy a new one, and the sooner that you can get in that house is usually the best. And number 4, make a fair offer. Make a fair offer. And again, your real estate agent, your realtor will know what a fair offer is. If you go to a house to where they want $250,000 and your realtor is sitting there like, this looks like a $235,000 home, then a fair price is not going to be $250,000. A fair price may be around $240,000, maybe $245,000, depending on what the inside of the house looks like, because his gizmo doesn't take into account how beautiful that kitchen may be, or that beautiful back deck, or that beautiful porch, or whatever. Maybe the pool that they put in. Maybe the app doesn't know about that. But for the most part, the app will compare this house to this house. This house has 3 bedrooms. This house has 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, and so on and so forth. It compares apples to apples and oranges to oranges. And finally, be a flexible negotiator. If you submit an offer, the seller may accept it, they may reject it, or they may counter it with their own changes. In a competitive market, it is important to stay nimble. So if the home is priced on the market for $250,000 and we make an offer of $240,000, they may counter and say $245,000. Okay, we might do $245,000 if you do this. And they may say yes or no. It all depends on how quickly that seller wants to move. How quickly that seller wants to get out of that house and into their new house. or how quickly they want to go look for their next house. Or if they already have their next house picked out, ready to go, they're already starting to work on it, then even better for the buyer. It's all about, really, in this type of market, and it depends on which side the realtor's working, but it's really trying to get the buyer into a position of power. Because right now the seller has the upper hand. The seller knows that there are not very many homes that look like theirs on the market. And that if you really, really want their home, you will spend the money. The goal is to make it where there is a negotiation that makes it where your client, whoever your client happens to be, comes out in the best place that they can be. That's it. That's all there is to it, really. Number 7, after make an offer, is have a home inspection. I will never, ever tell a client that is purchasing a home to not have a home inspection. I will say, this home may be brand new. It may be 2018. It may only be 2 years old. But you don't know what's going on inside this house, underneath this house, and you may not want to find out. The home inspector will, though. The home inspector will inspect the home, and they work for you. They work for the buyer. So they're going to do the best job that they can to find out what is going on with the home and whether there are any problems that need to get fixed before you purchase the home. After the home inspection is a home appraisal. That's done by your lender. So if you are, if you're getting a loan on a home, then your lender will send in an appraisal, in an appraiser after the home inspection. So after the home inspection, you'll get an inspection report. If the report shows stuff that you want fixed prior to purchase, then you will submit those to the seller. The seller will decide whether or not they want to actually fix it. And then once all that is done, you then move to the home appraisal. And the lender will send in an appraiser to come up with the appraised value of the home. Now, a good scenario for the buyer is that the home appraises for way more than they're paying. So say the home that you were purchasing, $250,000, we made an offer for $240,000. They countered at $245,000. We said, good, we'll take that. $245,000. The appraiser comes back and says, well, the home is worth $265,000. Great. Your buyer just earned $20,000 worth of equity on the home. Like that. It's great. Those are great times. Worst times is where the appraisal comes in low. So you offered $245,000, and maybe you had some contingencies included in that. The appraiser comes back, says the home's only worth $235,000. What happens then is that the agents have to go and negotiate the deal, because you, as the buyer, cannot purchase the home at $235,000 or at $245,000 if the home appraised at $235,000, unless you want to pay the difference. Your lender will let you do that. You can pay the $10,000 difference between the $235,000 and the $245,000. However, that also leaves you short on equity as well. You just bought a home that's valued at $235,000. You paid $10,000 plus. You have a mortgage of $235,000. So technically, you paid $245,000 for the home that appraised at $235,000. So that is where the buyer's agent and the seller's agent will get together. They'll try to negotiate. Maybe if it was $245,000 with some contingencies, maybe you take off the contingency and they will bring their final price down to $235,000. Most of the time we can work that out because of different other mechanisms that they put into effect that messes with that as well. After the home appraisal, you go through all the final details. Your lender will go through all the final details, and you get what is called a clear to close, the most exciting 3 words that a realtor can ever hear: clear to close. And that means that your buyer has gotten final approval for their mortgage and for their loan, and they are now ready to close on the home. You and the seller will sit down at a table. In today's world, there's plexiglass in the middle of the table, and one side will sign documents and the other side will sign the documents. And in the end, keys get exchanged, and number 10, you move in. Congratulations, you are a homeowner. So those are your 10 simple steps on your path to home ownership. If you have any questions, again, all of my details, all my contact information is in the description of this video. I thank every single one of you for watching. I saw the numbers, they were jumping the entire video, and I greatly appreciate everyone who watches. And I hope that this is educational. I hope that I'm teaching and doing the best I can to lead you towards home ownership, chasing that American dream. And again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to see other videos, maybe you have questions that you want answered, send them on to me. I'll do a video on that. Until next Sunday, we're getting closer to Christmas and getting closer to New Year. But until next Sunday, again, 2 o'clock, we will be back. And until then, again, I hope you guys have a great day and a great week, and enjoy it wherever you happen to be. This is David Hittle, United Real Estate Louisville, Shop Kentucky Homes. Have a great day.